Throughout the program, we're also going to have some clickable links that will come across the bottom of the screen. These helpful links are going to help provide you with more information about what we're talking about or who we're talking to. And definitely not to be missed, later on in the program, you're going to want to stick around for our creators quiz. I'm going to pose a trivia question, and we're going to see just how many people can get it right. Creators wanted us talking with veterans that are in manufacturing, and specifically how Boeing has lots of career opportunities that align well with military skill. We'll meet real veteran creators and hear about how you can take the next step in a career in manufacturing. Let's dive in.
It's great to be here with you today, Katie, to talk about why veterans thrive in manufacturing careers. So as a veteran yourself, what makes the industry such an ideal fit in your view?
Yeah, the industry of manufacturing is perfect for our veterans. So from my standpoint, my experience, so I started as a United States Air Force communication and navigation apprentice at 18 years old, straight out of high school. And it was an amazing way to start a career in manufacturing. So I'm now a leader in manufacturing, specific to aviation at the Boeing company. I think the things that veterans learn, very early on in their career is, just very high expectations. When you think about core values that our veterans have, that's everything we need in manufacturing. The challenges and the opportunities that exist in all elements of manufacturing professions are tremendous, and they provide a number of opportunities for our veterans as they transition from the military workforce into our communities. I would say from my experience, when we think about core values, just an innate ability to manage pressure, to understand the requirements of a schedule, to understand the ethical challenges that we have when we build products and some of the business decisions that we need to make. Veterans are a perfect candidate for so many manufacturing jobs.
Absolutely. And the other ones that I always highlight are the skills that we hear from companies all the time, regardless of the sector: teamwork, communication, right? Focus on mission, being core to manufacturing careers. Boeing employs more than 20,000 veterans. Why do you think the company is such a great match for veterans?
I think it's two things, and it's an easy question to answer. It is by far our products and our mission. So our mission at Boeing is to protect the world, to connect the world, and to inspire everyone that lives in the world. And I think we do that every day. It's a natural transition from veterans to join the Boeing company in a number of the ways that we do those three things. So whether it's commercial products, it's our defense, it is our training and the systems and communications and logistics products that we provide. Many of veterans transition seamlessly and quite well into the Boeing community from their networks within the military. So it's a great opportunity for all of our veterans.
So let's talk about the transition. So something we have focused on through our Heroes Make America program is really supporting the transitioning population, even though Heroes also reaches, fully separated veterans, Guard, Reserve, and active duty spouses. But as you are moving from the military community into the private sector, what kind of transition supports and services did you receive? And what do you think all employers should know about supporting this community as they come into their next career?
Sure. I mean, there's a number of support elements that are needed as you transition. First of all, it is a difficult decision, to leave the military. The commitment that each of us have when we are serving is tremendous. And the experiences that we have, we feel like we may not be able to get in any other environment. And I think that's what, a lot of companies want to provide, an environment where teamwork is paramount, where you are able to take risks but be protected. So I think as you transition from the military, things that are really necessary are making sure that you have a resume that is well built out. It is intentional about all the experiences that you've had, whether that's deployments, whether that's different stations that you were serving in and different customers that you supported. From there, I think it is making sure that we have the right job fit for each of our veterans. There are so many opportunities out there, and our veterans have a wide variety of skills and tools in their toolbox. So I think, sitting down with a team of individuals that can help a veteran maybe make the best selection. I will say there's so many organizations out there that, are really vying for the talent that's coming out of the military. So in the absence of just jumping at the first opportunity, being really thoughtful and getting some support and making sure it's the right next move for each of our veterans.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And, one of the key goals we've had for Heroes since its inception was really exposing the military community to as many different, types of jobs in manufacturing, because no two jobs are alike, and there's so many opportunities to deploy these skills. So let's talk specifically about Boeing. How does Boeing support the military community more broadly, and why is that so important?
Yeah, I mean, so we have a number of community events with our military partners. Many of our locations where we build products are incredibly close to other, bases within those areas for obvious reasons, as we support one another in the products that we build. I would say that, there's BVET, so there's a Boeing Veterans Community, and there's a Boeing Veterans teams that, meet to make sure that we are supporting one another in challenges, whether that be, for those that are still serving in various capacities or have children that serve. And, I continue to partner with, fellow leaders who want to make sure that as we're thinking about replenishing our workforce, that we're very mindful about our diversity within our team. And so that's another element that we're consistently looking at and making sure that we're reaching out and that our veterans feel welcome, and that when they do join the team that they're supported. So those are some ways that we reach out.
That's great. So talk a little bit about, because I think for people who are looking to make the transition, if there's one piece of advice, if there's I wish I had learned that. Now, I know you transitioned a while ago, but, as you've helped and guided other people in the journey, what's that nugget that you pass on?
Yeah, I think I would say, be mindful about your experiences that you had, but don't necessarily limit yourself to that's what you have to do as the next step. What you learn as you serve in whatever branch of the military that each of the veterans are serving in, that can be translated to any future career. That leadership, those core values, your ability to handle pressure, is what is just competing priorities all the time, sometimes being away from family and, make decisions and effectively function. That's tough. And all of those things can lay you up that you want. So I would say, what you bring to the manufacturing community isn't necessarily the things that you've done before, but what you're capable of in the future. So just broaden your eyes to anything that you want to go do.
Such a great point, and a good message for everybody who's considering their next steps. I think regardless of their background, but I have to say, those experiential skills are so hard fought and so hard earned, and so critical in manufacturing today. So thanks for spending time with us, and thanks for your service, and we look forward to seeing what's next.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you.
It's time for Take 5 with Creators Wanted. And this segment will highlight skills that veterans have that make them ideal candidates for careers in manufacturing. We're so excited to have joining us Tim Bierk. Tim, Thanks for being with us here on Creators Wanted. How you feeling today?
I feel great, Aaron. Thank you. Great to be here.
Okay, before we dive in, I feel like, did you set that up in the background there, the Jets?
Aaron, I'm an F-15 guy by trade, and absolutely planning the F-15 behind me is something that I did. Absolutely, I planted it there.
I love that. So Tim, let's get into it. Tell me about your title over there at Boeing and where you're located.
Yeah, so Aaron, Tim Bierk, I'm located out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I am the director for field operations, which means that any place in the world that Boeing does work on an aircraft, a military aircraft, my team does that work. Coolest job in the entire organization.
Very cool. And today we're talking about how the soft and technical skills that veterans have often make them an ideal fit for careers in manufacturing. So we've got 5 of those skills. Can you go ahead and elaborate on those skills for us?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the skills that veterans have learned in the military, have earned in the military, do translate really well into what we do here at Boeing. Just quickly, I think teamwork, communication, problem solving, leadership, and then obviously the technical skills that you've learned while you were in the service. All apply really well to Boeing.
So those are the 5 there. So let's run through those briefly. Let's talk about teamwork.
Right. Yeah. So teamwork, thinking from the first day you entered basic training, it was all about, taking a large group of diverse individuals and putting them together as a team to reach certain objectives or certain goals. And so we learned that right away in the military to work as a team. And then coming out of basic training, and when you got to your unit or your organization, you were part of a team that had to work well together. And so those teams had to work with other teams. And obviously the military is a big machine. And so you have a lot of subset of teams that all make up one giant team trying to reach key objectives. Same thing with Boeing. Boeing's a big organization. No one person builds or designs everything that we do here. So it's important that we all work as a team, and you'll be on sub teams working with other teams, and all to reach the key objectives of getting the product out the door.
And with those teams, whether it's 2 people or it's multiple teams, communicating, that's exactly what they've got to do. They got to communicate with each other, which is the second skill there. So elaborate on that for us a little bit.
You bet. Absolutely. Yeah. So that I think is very unique to the military itself, but obviously you get orders when you're in the military, and it's important to you as the lead to translate those into actions that people can take. Same thing here at Boeing. It's important for us to communicate within the team, and also with your teams that you're handing work off to. As I said, you don't just do one. Nobody builds just one thing. It's a handoff to one team to the next team, and it's important to have good communication skills to articulate that.
And then go ahead and touch on problem solving, that third skill for us.
Yeah, problem solving. It's kind of a technical skill, but also a soft skill. Try to work with people to solve their individual problems, but also try to solve organizational problems. Within Boeing, we do what we call root cause corrective action. So if something didn't go quite right, we really drill down to figure out what didn't go right and find that root cause and go fix it. In any organization, we're always trying to be on that journey of continuous improvement. What can we do to make it better, make it more reliable, better quality, make it cheaper? What the skills you learn in the military directly apply to what we do here at Boeing in that continuous journey, continuous improvement journey.
And then where does that 4th skill, leadership, come into play?
Well, when you think about teamwork, communication, and problem solving, you've learned early on in the military, even at basic, when you were there working as a team, certain leaders develop within the organization or your small organization. And the military does a great job of growing its leaders by putting them in roles they can take different roles and responsibilities, but also through the formal education that you receive, the leadership training you received in the military. I received some of that myself. Boeing, very similar type of organization with that infrastructure and the hierarchy. The leadership skills that you have to lead the teams are really important, but obviously the communication, working as a team to reach the key objectives. I like to think about what are the organizational strategic objectives, and those totally come down from the top, like the order from the commander, and then connecting the dots between, what is the strategic objective down to what do I contribute as an individual contributor, connecting those dots, and then having a leader to help me determine what do I have the right priorities that align with the goals.
And then that brings us to the 5th skill, which is what we're talking about, technical skill. So Tim, talk to me about how your your time in the military and those skills apply to where you are now in your career at Boeing? How do those two align with one another?
Yeah, what I didn't appreciate as an aircraft maintenance technician for about 8 years in the Air Force, what I didn't appreciate is all the work that went on behind the scenes to make me successful as that technician or mechanic out in the field. And what I mean by that is that what's the maintenance concept? We have a team of Boeing folks that develop the maintenance concept for that specific platform. And what that means is, do I do the work on the aircraft or I do it in a hangar somewhere else over here? So we have a team of professionals that develop those maintenance concepts. And from the maintenance concept, we have a team that develops initial spares provisioning. So make sure you have the right spare part at the right location at the right time. They develop that spares list. We have a list of support equipment, or a team of support equipment engineers that design and build the support equipment, the test equipment that I use on the aircraft to troubleshoot the aircraft. We have teams that build that equipment. We also have the team that develop all the tech orders, the technical publications that I use to maintain the aircraft. Boeing writes those technical manuals. We have a team of people that does that. We also have field service reps. You might have met a field service rep when you were out in your military career, a Boeing expert who was out in the field helping assist you when the tech pubs didn't quite cover all the things that it needed to cover, provide that little engineering and technical guidance to help you out. And also our logistics support reps who work in the warehouses to make sure that we've got parts that are broken that need to go back for repair, and then receiving the repaired parts, putting them on the shelf ready for issue. So it's that whole organization that really helped prepare me to be a successful maintainer out in the field. So even though I did one job in the Air Force, there was a lot of skills back here at Boeing that are needed to help make me successful and make the next maintainer out in the field successful in the future.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for being here with us and giving us an opportunity to step into your shoes and see through your eyes kind of the transition between a military career and a career over at Boeing and a career in manufacturing. Thank you so much for being with us here for Take 5 with Creators Wanted.
My pleasure, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Aaron. We appreciate you all joining us for a panel focused on veterans in manufacturing. My name is Rachel Wolford. I am a senior program manager with the Manufacturing Institute's Heroes Make America program. We're joined by 3 veterans today. So we'd just like to start with introductions. So if each one of you would introduce yourself, tell us your name, your role in the military, and maybe what your role is now. Marvin, we'll lead off with you.
Yes, hi, my name is Marvin Branch. I'm a military veteran of 28 years. I served as a chemical officer in the United States Army, and I retired after 28 years of military service. I joined the Heroes Make America program, and I'm program manager at Fort Hood, Texas.
Wonderful. Thanks, Marvin. Nicholas?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nick Bruni. I'm a maintenance manager for Boeing in Seattle Plant 2. I retired from the U.S. Navy in 2018 and transitioned quickly into Boeing after exiting my terminal leave. I'm currently serving as a maintenance manager after serving 20 years as a home maintenance technician in the Navy.
Thank you for joining us, Nicholas. And Robert?
I'm Robert Villegas. I was in the Army from 90 to 94. I was a 67 Tango, a Black Hawk crew chief, and I transitioned pretty easily to civilian life early on. Went to A&P school, and then here at Boeing, I'm an AMT, aviation maintenance technician on the flight line for the 737 program for the delivery center.
Thank you, Robert. So first and foremost, I'd like to just start off by saying thank you all for your service. And we really appreciate you joining us here today. So Nick, I'm going to start with you. When you were transitioning out of the military, what were you looking for in a career?
Sure. I thought my career was going to be fairly easy to transition out of. It would have been fairly easy for me to transition from my career in the service into a career in the shipyard and stay in civil service or stay close to the Navy. And that's not really something I was terribly interested in. I wanted to expand my aperture. I wanted to see what else was out there and expand my my understanding of business and of manufacturing in general. So I looked at a couple of different options, had a couple of options on the table, and fortuitously ended up in Boeing. So it was really kind of serendipitous how it happened. Boeing had a hiring event in the town that I live in, ended up putting on my putting on my Class A's and heading down and talking to a couple of folks, and turned out I ended up speaking with a former Navy vet, and we discussed various duty stations and what my skill sets were, and that person effectively walked me through the hiring event, and ended up with a great position at Boeing.
Oh, that's one of the best things out there, networking, finding that connection with another service member. So thank you for that answer. Marvin, I know you're in a little bit different position. You're not working within Boeing, but why don't you tell us a little bit some of the skills from your military career that you use on the job?
Yeah, after transitioning from such a long time in the service, obviously you pick up a lot of skills, not only your MOS and your branch, but also a lot of soft skills that you inherently learn by going through just your daily activities. So just attention to detail, communication, to be on time, to be right place, right uniform. It's things that they kind of instinctively teach us, and we kind of bring it to our civilian life. So for me, those are the things that I apply, I think, the most in my civilian job as a program manager now.
Thank you, Marvin. So I'll kind of go back to Robert and then to Nicholas, but what new skills have you gained since you started your career with Boeing?
Oh, troubleshooting. A lot, you learn that early on in this field out here with these planes, the issues they have, fixing the problems. Systems, a lot of systems on the airplanes. Again, I was a helicopter personnel in the Army, so a little different than the airplane theories. So similar, but a lot of differences. So definitely has challenged me as an aviation technician to learn theories of flight more in depth, troubleshooting, and again, flight controls and how to rig them and how to fix them, because I mean, these planes are brand new. But still they have issues from when they set them in the factory to when they fly them for their first flight, and then we receive them. And of course, we have to adjust all the rigs and anything that's an issue with the airplane. And so it definitely has challenged my skill set, and it's made me a better mechanic.
What about you, Nicholas?
I suppose for me, one of the largest transitions and one of the largest challenges that I had was the language. When we're in the service, we have a very specific culture. We know pretty readily and easily how to communicate with each other, regardless of branch, regardless of position or title. We understand the hierarchy, and we understand the language. We understand the acronyms. Getting out, it was, while everybody was speaking English, the verbiage that was being used, and to coin a phrase, the business speak, the various lexicon and various words that were being used in daily meetings, that posed just a little bit of a struggle for me. So learning to adapt my communication skill to those needs, that was something that I learned, and fortunately was able to learn rather quickly. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't something that came naturally to me. So that was one of the, from my perspective, that was one of the largest challenges that I had, and something that I'm still learning.
Well, I think you hit a key word that really resonates well with why military do so well in manufacturing, is that adaptability, right? The ability to come in and take ownership of a new task. Marvin, I'd like to send another question your way. Tell us a little bit about something that you're proud of that you've achieved in your role.
For me, that's easy. It's just being able to give back service to a community that I've grown to love over all these years of service. So for me, transitioning, looking for my second career, and finding the Heroes Make America program was a great career skills program for me, because manufacturing was an industry that I was not familiar with. So going through the training myself, it gave me a little bit of insight to be on the tours in the facilities, and just to meet some great manufacturers and hear their stories. And just like the veterans that are on the call with me, they've made a successful transition into manufacturing. So I think there are just some great opportunities that I've been able to learn about within my role, and been able to share them with other veterans that are transitioning.
Oh, thank you so much, Marvin. So I think something really important for those that are, tuning into this event is to hear a little bit about some of those things that you learned when you were transitioning out of the military. So, what advice about manufacturing careers would each one of you give to your fellow veterans? And I'll lead off with Nicholas on this one.
Sure. One of the things that I recommend that fellow veterans lean on is your hard skills. You learned quite a bit about maintenance. You learned quite a bit about how to disassemble, reassemble, how to repair various articles, whether it be Army, Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Space Force. It doesn't matter. There are assets that you use. There are tools. There are systems that you use in your day-to-day missions that require some manner of upkeep and or repair. So something that I did and will continue to share with transitioning veterans is to lean on those hard skills. The soft skills are just as important, but don't dismiss the hard skills that you learned.
Wonderful. Robert?
Yeah, to piggyback on what Nicholas just said, use your benefits. I used my GI Bill, went to A&P school. The military pays for all that training. Use it to your most benefit that you can for any skill set that you want, any manufacturing skill set that you want to use. Let the military pay for that, and it'll help you get that job in the manufacturing world. When I got here at Boeing, they definitely loved my the military experience, and they loved the A&P. The college, getting a degree also helped. So I highly recommend to get that more training that the government gives you to get into manufacturing.
Thanks, Robert. And then Marvin, we'll just wrap up with yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would take a little bit from both. Once you get those skills and once you take the experience that you've used and learned in the military, don't be afraid to go out and find that career, because there's a lot of opportunity in the manufacturing industry. There's a wide variety of career types, whether you want to be an engineer, whether you want to be production, whether you want to be in aerospace. There's just so many career opportunities out there for you. So do a little bit of research and then come up with something that you're going to feel comfortable in, that you enjoy, and that you're going to really like having as a second career.
Thanks, Marvin. Well, as we wrap up, I just want to thank each one of you again for being on the panel with us today. Thank you for those who are tuning in to listen, learn more about careers within Boeing, and learn a little bit about how to be successful in your transition as you separate out of the military. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's time for our creators quiz. I'm going to put your knowledge to the test by asking a trivia question related to today's theme. You should see a question pop up in the bottom left corner of the video. Here's how it works. You'll have 20 seconds to think about and pick your answer, and be sure to select your answer before the time is up. Now that you know how to engage with us, here we go. The question is, as of 2020, what percentage of military veterans were employed in manufacturing? Once again, the question is, as of 2020, what percentage of military veterans were employed in manufacturing? You don't have to guess it. I'll give you some choices here. Option A, 12.2%. Option B, 6.7%. Choice C, 22%. Or D, 15.1%. Your 20 seconds starts now. All right, is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? 12.2, 6.7, 22, or 15? We're a little over halfway through here. Go ahead and get those answers submitted. Just a few more seconds remaining, and that is your time. All right, so once again, the question is, as of 2020, what percentage of military veterans were employed in manufacturing? The answer is 12.2. That's right, as of 2020, 12.2% of military veterans were employed in manufacturing. Did you get it right? Did you get it wrong? Well, if you got it wrong, no worries. Join us for a future program and try your hand at the next question.
It makes me proud knowing that I add value to the team.
If I'm putting pride into it, the people around me are going to put pride into their work as well, and you're going to build a great product.
It's exciting to see my dreams come true for this jet to take off.
Quality is incredibly important to us.
There's nothing more important than the safety of the people, the product.
And nothing better than watching the air crew wave from the flight deck, taking flight to their new home, just knowing that I had something to do with that.
We are a team no matter what.
It's a family type of thing. We have to look out for each other because without each other, we can't get this done.
It's a good feeling to just know that this plane is going that far and that it's representing everybody out here at the Boeing company.
In every single function, quality, engineering, manufacturing, operations, we all come together to make sure we deliver a safe and reliable product.
So we've received so much great information so far, but with all that information, it's not going to do anything unless we take action. And you're probably wondering, where can you go from here? Well, we have two more great guests coming to Creators Wanted here to guide us along the way. So from Boeing, please welcome Tia and Danielle. Tia and Danielle, how are you doing out there?
Doing well. Good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us here on Creators Wanted. Let's dive right into it. Go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what your role is over at Boeing.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tia Rivera. I'm manager of the workforce development team for BCA, Boeing Commercial Aircraft, here in the Puget Sound region. And my job is to provide support for employment opportunities for transitioning personnel and veterans.
Very nice. And Danielle, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing over there at Boeing.
Hi, yes, my name is Danielle Gilmet, and I'm our HR generalist here at Cecil Field Jacksonville, which is part of BGS, which is Boeing Global Services. I'm happy to be here today. I transitioned from the military back in 2015, so this all feels very familiar to me.
Very nice. Thank you so much for your service. So let's keep rolling into it here. Let's get a lay of the land. And Danielle, I'm going to throw this to you. Can you tell us about some of the careers? What types of careers are available at Boeing right now?
Yes, that's an awesome question. We have a wide span of careers available at Boeing. We have different job opportunities within engineering. We have different job opportunities from quality. We have maintenance positions, electrical or structural repair or avionics or mechanics. We have supply chain roles, such as production control or moving parts. And we also have a lot of leadership and management opportunities available, which will perfectly be in line with a transitioning service member who may have gained experience while they were in service.
Very nice. And Tia, we're going to jump over to you now that we kind of have a lay of the land of the careers there. Veterans definitely have the skills needed to pursue a career at Boeing. But what skills would you highlight for those veterans that are trying to pursue a career?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Danielle mentioned, right, we're really looking for those manufacturing technical skills. It's important to think about, how do you craft a technical resume rather than some of those soft skill resumes that we see quite often. It's making sure that you pull out that mechanical experience, that electrical experience, any aircraft experience you may have, thinking outside of the box, even if you don't have experience directly with aircraft. Those are transferable skills that you can get from working on automotives, just doing maintenance and repair, right? There are so many different opportunities to have those transferable skills. So making sure that they're first and foremost on your resume right there in front. The soft skills are fabulous, but we want you to show them to us in your interview. We want you to come in and be able to speak your skills clearly, fluently, feel like you know what it is that you're talking about, right? That confidence is really, really key there. And then you need to be able to show up on time, right? Which every service member can, absolutely, right? That's a transferable skill that just comes with the territory and is absolutely phenomenal. And then you have to be able to brag on yourself. You got to be able to get in there and say, this is exactly what I did. I supported my team in this, but this was my role. And let me show you how that translates to the job that I'm applying to.
It's always tough, bragging on yourself and talking to those skills and some of those highlights, but you've got to do it. Tia, we're going to pretend we're on Family Feud right now, and let's see the top 3 answers on the board. What would you say the top 3 skills that Boeing hiring managers are looking for in job candidates?
Really, it's all about how you are going to prepare for your interview, right? You're going to come in, you're going to be 15 minutes early, if not earlier. You're going to make sure that you ask the questions, the follow-up, stay engaged, speak to the skills that you have, whether or not they come from your military experience, external to the military, or even you're just doing some sort of hobby at home. As long as the skill is transferable, you should be able to speak it. And that is going to be one of the most key things that a hiring manager is looking for. Are you able to connect your skills to the actual job that it is that you're applying to? Let's see, what else is next? We've got, really being able to come in and be a team member and also a leader. You have to be able to speak to both sides of that. It's so important that we're bringing in transitioning personnel, veterans into the Boeing company. We know that you have the skills to both lead and be a team member there. And then the other piece of it is just making sure that you're speaking to your aptitude, right? And that doesn't mean I'm a fast learner or anything like that, right? Again, those are intangible skills. But if you've got dirt under your fingernails, I want to know where you got the dirt from, right? That's the aptitude piece. That says, I like doing what it is that I do, and I'm going to bring that joy and excitement to the Boeing team.
Love that. That's definitely some great information for everyone that's watching out there. Danielle, we've talked about some of these skills for these potential candidates here that want a career, but a lot of these resumes are going to come across the hiring desks. How do people make their resumes stand out?
Yes, great job, Tia, by the way. I loved that. But veterans can definitely make their resumes stand out by quantifying their achievements and discussing their successes. We want to know what your job role was in the military, but be careful with the military jargon that you use. Make sure that you're able to kind of translate those skills that you required while you were in the military, and then spotlight or highlight how those skills are going to help you with the job that you're applying for. That would be the biggest thing. Stand out, let us know what you did in the military, but you've got to be able to translate those skills to how you're going to bring it to our company.
Definitely some parallels there between what you said, Danielle, and what Tia said.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we going? Where do we go from here? How do we learn more about the careers that are available at Boeing?
Yeah, so we have a jobs.boeing.com career site. This is where you'll be able to go check out what jobs are available at Boeing currently when you're looking. You'll be able to identify positions based upon the location that you may want to be in, or you can go ahead and search by the job type itself. And that's going to be a really good tool for you to be able to just see what the opportunities are. The other piece of that is that you'll want to sign up for our contact list, and that's at the link below on the bottom of the screen here. And that is really going to be the opportunity for you to sign up for that one-on-one support. Having somebody reach out to you, make sure that you get that resume review support, help updating your resume, help through the application process itself, and even a little bit of mock interviewing if that's something that you desire. If you just want to speak to somebody about the alignment of your existing skills and which jobs you should go ahead and apply to, it's a great opportunity to do that. Or just have a conversation to see if Boeing might be the right fit for you.
Love that. Danielle, we've got a few more moments here. So before I let you two go, do you have any final advice for veterans out there exploring a career in manufacturing? Anything else?
Yes, thank you. I just want to let you guys know you only transition from the military once. So give yourself grace as you're transitioning. the skills that we're looking for at Boeing, you likely have already crafted and worked on them while you were in the military. So be proud of that and really lean on your past experiences. When you come to interview with us, be confident, and we want to see you. We want to see why you were proud of what you did in the military, and we want that to carry on over to our company. So that's what I would say. I'd give yourself grace. You only transition once.
That's great. Anything else that you want to add on there, Tia?
I would just go ahead and tag on, we're really looking for those skills that are hands-on, those manufacturing type of skills. Again, that's aviation maintenance technicians, right? We're talking structures mechanics, we're talking electrical assembly, installation, we're talking our equipment services and building and plant maintenance. And we're also talking our quality skills, right? And again, remembering to think outside the box, like I mentioned before, remembering that those skills can come from a variety of places. Even if you've never thought about manufacturing, please come talk to us. I think it's very well aligned to almost everybody that we speak to.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much, Tia and Danielle, for being here with us on Creators Wanted. For everyone out there watching, veterans, thank you so much for your service once again. And if you got dirt under those fingernails, go ahead, put them on the keyboard and get to it. It's time to take some action, because now you know exactly where to go from here. Tia, Danielle, thank you so much for being here with us. There you have it. I hope you've enjoyed all the advice and information today on how veterans are building the future at Boeing. A big thank you to all the veterans, creators, and leaders at Boeing for joining us and sharing. And as we've seen today, the type of skills veterans have often make them an ideal fit for careers in manufacturing. So if you're a veteran and you're interested in learning more, please join us at one of the live Zoom sessions that we're hosting right now to talk about opportunities to get involved. We're posting those Zoom links on the screen, or you can click on one of the links in the chat bar over to your right. Manufacturing has opportunities for everyone, so be sure to check out connect.creatorswanted.org to learn more about different pathways to becoming a creator. Once again, I'm Aaron Smalls. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Creators Wanted.